Hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm here with Wolves reporter Tim Spiers. Tim, I didn't think I'd quite be saying this, that we've just come out of Rob Edwards' press conference, but that's what we have. Big game against Blackburn and he's taking charge.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I thought you could always kind of see it coming. Personally, see it coming a while off. If Senga was going to leave this season, then it was Rob Edwards' big chance.
This soon,
to
step
up to the plate. But yeah, no, obviously this soon. We didn't expect Senga to have left this soon. But it was a very impressive press conference. Actually, you could tell he was maybe a little bit nervous. He's obviously not used to this kind of scrutiny already, but he gave a lot, really good messages, said all the right things, and he's feeling confident ahead of Saturday's game, which is what Wolves fans want to hear.
How difficult a game is this for him as a person?
Good question. I think it's a kind of a no lose situation for him, really. I mean, it depends how badly he wants the job, but I think first and foremost, it might be a bit of a cliche, but he just wants the team to do well. He's ingrained in this club. He loves this club. He's played for the club. He's been under 18 manager, first team coach. Now he's interim manager. Desperate for 3 points, and I think he'll get a reaction from his players. The players all respect him. They like him. I think he stepped things up in training this week. Maybe change things around a little bit from the way that Senga was doing things, obviously, to make his mark and make his stamp on it. And I think he'll get a reaction. And I think he'll change some of the things that Wolves haven't been doing. And you often get this kind of new manager bounce. And personally, I think they'll get it on Saturday.
How difficult is it going to be for him to transition from friend, okay, he has been first team coach, but to have that authoritative point of view now, and he is the gaff and he is going to make these decisions, how difficult is it going to be for him?
I don't think it'll be a problem this week. Everything's properly helter-skelter, he's just 48 hours away from the game. I don't think he probably won't change too much in terms of team selection either, but that would come over time, because he's obviously well respected and liked by the players. He'll treat them maybe more as a friend with an arm around the shoulder. When we spoke to Conor Cody, who said they haven't got used to calling him Gaffer yet. He was still calling him Rob during the interview we had with him earlier. So it is a difficult transition to get used to, and that's the biggest challenge that he'll face if he gets longer than a game or two with this team, which you never know he might do if he gets a couple of good early results.
And like he said, and he's reiterated, an amazing opportunity for him as a person as well.
Yeah, not just if he wants to be manager of Wolves, but in general, he's clearly got managerial ambitions. I think he's kind of spelt it out there. He was, as you'd expect, cagey about whether he wants this job. I don't think he's not going to come out and say that yet, is he? But obviously, he wants this job.
He wants it, of course.
And he
Who wouldn't?
Exactly. What a fantastic opportunity for him at a huge club. Somebody that nobody would have really been talking about in terms of the Wolves managerial position, just a few months ago. But he's risen the ranks very quickly. He was under 18 manager for a year.
Well thought of,
throughout the club. Kenny Jackett brought him on as first team coach, and he's impressed Kenny Jackett a lot. And Walter Zenga thought so highly of him, to count on him and rely on him during matches. I think when we knew that Walter was bringing an assistant with him, Stefano Casine, we just presumed that he would be in contact with him throughout the game. But it's Rob Edwards who he's leaned on for tactical advice, for advice about substitutions. I think he's learnt a lot from him. I think he's learnt a lot from Kenny, and if he takes the best of both managers, then he'll be doing a good job.
We asked him to talk about the bigger picture, maybe in 2, 3, 4 weeks, but he said it's just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday game. That's all he can think about at the moment.
I mean, how can he look any further at the moment? It's all about the 3 points this Saturday for him. He won't have had time to catch his breath yet, will he? It was only Tuesday afternoon when all this happened. But he's, like I said, he's saying all the right things. He wants the fans to come home proud of the team. He wants to excite the fans. But his kind of enduring message through that half an hour or so that we just had with him was that he wants players to run. He said it quite a few times, which I think is hinting at something that Wolves have been doing well recently, off the ball, defending as a team, which we've spoken about. So that's his key message. He says the one thing you'll definitely see from my team is that they'll work hard.
So who's that good for in terms of team selection? Who's that bad for?
I mean, we just spoke to Conor Cody. It'd be good for him. And Cody stressed in his interview that Edwards' key message is to win the ball back when you haven't got it. So that doesn't bode well for João Teixeira, for example. He's not going to be the kind of guy to be winning the ball back. Same for Helder Costa maybe. But you've got to have players.
You've got to have that
to win you the game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you've got to have match winners as well. You can't 11 industrious players.
But instead of going there to play Blackburn off the park and try and win 3-0, I think we'll see more of a backs to the wall. Let's grind this one out. Let's win this 1-0. Let's hit them on the break, maybe, rather than. But well, do you know what? Then again, he said he wants to see us play a lot of football in Blackburn's half. So I'll be really interested to see his team selection. You've got to be very wary of Blackburn. He said they're in a false position in the league.
Yeah.
But it's a big game for Wolves. But I think you'd feel confident with the messages that he's saying if he can instill that in his players, of getting a good result, which is of course what they need.
He comes across though well as a person.
Yeah,
he's very good to speak to. He says he's going to be nervous just before the game at 5:25, but he'll be confident as well, and that's what you want, don't you? Especially if you're going to take charge of such a massive club like this.
He's got all the attributes for it. Like I said, he's very highly regarded within the club. He's only 33 years old.
It's been done before, though.
It's been done. Well, lots of examples. Eddie Howe, Brendan Rodgers was very young when he started. Alex Neil at Norwich as well. So yeah, of course there are examples. You haven't got as many examples of promoting from within. I think that have then gone on to be a success because it is a really difficult transition from being a coach to a manager, and like I said, and treating people differently around you. But here, if you did get the job long term, if that happened to happen, then I don't think you'd have the added stress of transfers and buying the players in. That's not how Wolves are doing things at the moment. We'd have that kind of done for him in a way. So we'll see.
From a fan's point of view, though, if we're talking about the next managers, he's not the sexy manager out there. He's not a Sam Allardyce or Andre Villas-Boas or anything like that. But that doesn't mean to say they're the right people to take charge of this situation.
No, but he's got no background as a manager. People don't know anything about him. People will accuse Wolves of doing it on the cheap if he ends up getting the job. I think we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. I mean, if Wolves lose at Blackburn and then they draw against Derby, then he won't get the job, and that's just the nature of the caretaker manager. You've got to win. You've got to probably win both games, I'd say, for him to have a chance to get the job.
But regardless of what happens, it's a proud day for him.
It's a proud day for him. But like I said, I think he's got all the attributes. He's got the tactical acumen. He talks a very good game. I think he's very good with the players. He's got some good modern ideas. If you look at what he did with the youth team, they play some great football as well. So it's how he handles the authority and the pressure. And that's the same in any job. Once you become a leader, it's how you handle the pressure and the authority and the scrutiny. But if he's certainly got a level head. He's got attributes that Walter Singer hasn't in that respect, and in a weird kind of way, it sort of feels like it's maybe his job to lose. I don't know if that's taking it a step too far, but Wolves love him. He's held in such high regard. I think they want him to prove to them that he can do this job, and they'd be happy for him to do it, and he'd fit in very well with the structure that they've got. And it might not be what fans want to hear, but after a couple of wins, I think they'd be more on board. We'll see. Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but I think he's got a good chance personally.
Blackburn Saturday, how are you feeling?
Yeah, more positive. I think if they get those basics right off the ball that they haven't been recently, then they've got the creativity and the flair to hurt anybody. And I think we will. I don't think we'll see wholesale changes, but we'll see a different team. We might see the likes of Stearman brought in. I think we'll see Cody brought in. More of a settled and balanced team with a clear game plan to go and beat Blackburn on Saturday.
And we'll be there, Ewood Park, 5:30 kick-off. For all the build-up on this one, make sure you log on to expressandstar.com.